Hello and good evening. Due to some controversial rules and regulations and new laws introduced by Donald Trump's new administration, the recipients or prospective recipients of H-1B visa, those laws were quite worrisome because initially it was decided by the White House, and it was announced earlier in the year that all H-1B visa applicants, new applicants, would require to fulfill certain conditions to qualify, in order to qualify and obtain or get H-1B visa. H-1B visa is primarily, in simple words, it's a work permit which is given to the students who graduate from US universities, whether they are BS or MS or they are holder of MPhil or PhD degrees. And according to some reports, 70% of the recipients of this particular visa were Indian citizens or Indian nationals or Indians, those who were studying in United States. And 65,000 such visas used to be issued every year, and then 20,000 other visas which were issued to the applicants who were highly qualified, who were having vast experience, who had expertise in certain fields, especially in software and AI technology and in space technology and science and scientists and all the fields which are otherwise hard to fulfill or hard to fill in America by Americans. So its main objective is or was to issue the visa to those people who are highly skilled, highly qualified, and those who have urged to excel in their own fields, and the US companies require their expertise or their experience because the US citizens are not there to occupy or get those specialized jobs. So now this is the good news. There are two clarifications issued by the US Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, and it has announced recently that it will not charge an additional $100,000 US from the applicants of H-1B visa, as it was announced earlier that every new applicant will have to pay $100,000 as visa application or processing fee. And then there was another worrisome issue that was that every applicant would require to pay $100,000 US on visa renewal. And now this has been clarified that it won't be charged. This amount as a fee won't be charged from the students and other visa holders who change their visa status while within the United States. So this means that any person or any student who is residing in the United States and who has completed his study, who has got his degree from any accredited university, he or she does not have to pay $100,000 as a visa fee. And the statement further clarifies, this decision is especially good news for international students who have recently graduated from a college, like I said earlier, or university in the United States and are being sponsored under the H-1B visa. Usually, when you want to get this visa, you have to have a sponsor like any company, like Amazon, Google, Meta, or any, for that matter, any other US company So your company or employer has to sponsor you to be qualified for applying. The USCIS clarified in its statement that the additional fee will apply to new applications filed after September 21st, 2025. This is very important, and which will be approved for future entry into the United States, or the applicant is not currently in the United States. So this fee of $100,000 will be charged from new applicants who will apply after 21st of September this year, 2025, and which will be approved for future entry. So that means all those applicants who will apply from outside the United States, whether they are in India or Pakistan or any other country, if they apply from there, whether obviously they will have to have a sponsor who will sponsor them. So they will have to pay this fee. This is very important and good news for all those who are already living in the United States on a valid student visa. Now it further goes on that if the applicant is in the United States and already has a visa, F1 student visa or L1 transfer visa, and is transitioning to H-1B through a change of status or extension of admission, he or she is out of the scope of this additional fee. Now you understand what I mean, or what this statement means, that if you are an applicant for H-1B visa and you are living in the United States and you have a valid F1 student visa or L1 transfer visa, and you are transitioning means that if you have applied from this change of status from F1 or L1 visa to H-1B visa and you are in the United States, you are exempt from this fee. In addition, if the applicant is outside the United States, another important point, or if the application is made after final approval, that the applicant will need to travel to the United States for admission or needs a consular notification, requires an airport entry notification, or goes through a flight check, then it will be subject to additional fee of $100,000. So if you are outside, if you have to go to outside in order to get into United States again, then you apply from any other country, then you will have to pay for this. The blanket waiver has not been issued. This says that the blanket waiver, it's not a waiver for everyone. However, employees or companies can apply for an exemption if the job is in the United States interest and the US citizen is not available for the job. So this means that there is no blanket waiver, but there are some exceptions, like if you are whether you are outside the country and if the job is in the US interest. You know what I mean, right? If it is in the interest of US. There are so many US interests, I don't need to explain them. You are wise enough to understand what I mean. So, and there is no US citizen available for that job, then you are lucky one, and then you will be exempt from this additional fee of 100,000 US dollars. And I know many thousands and thousands of students who are worrying about this 100,000 fee because it's a hell of a money. You don't earn that much money in the United States, even if you have graduated and you work in the universities for 20 hours and then you go for do projects and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden you are asked to pay, unless your employer is willing to pay $100,000 for you. But the students who go from this part of the world, from a subcontinent, from Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and other countries, And now, this is very good news. If you like my video, please thumbs up, subscribe to it, and please do leave your comment, and someone might benefit from this information. You can forward my video or share my video among your friends. Thanks for watching.